You know, I wonder if I could randomly just skip certain rambling parts of this fic, and would you guys even notice? Would you even care? I have a feeling the answer is neither. As an aside, I just got Good to See Freedom movie on my 4K DVD. This is probably the first 4K DVD I have. Joy. Okay, let's see. Marching order. Group initially staying in single files. They forced their way through the dense forest. Grumbling rainbow dash. Claustrophobia. Hey! That's actually interesting. Which I'm fine with. I do like the type of fear. Every so often, some point would move forward or drop back for a quick question or a private talk. Why didn't Applejack bring supplies? As they continue to encounter no threats beyond flanks, great saddlebag damage. Because, of course, saddlebag damage from rarity, yada yada yada. And let's see, with just the supplies he had planned to bring to Kerala, a couple of canteens, some snacks expected for the carrots ride, down to one apple, fruits, grain stalks, anything to get used growing naturally beyond the sparse grass between the fallen leaves. This was a wild zone. A what? Not a fruitful one. A what? Ponies hold their country but control relatively little of it. Each city and town and settlement presents a zone of relative safety with weather and land tailored to their needs. What the fuck are you talking about? Okay, let's ignore anything that showed up after season 3. Fine. We already see how much of this is a big fat lie during season 1. You know, like that one? It's right over there. Right outside the Everfree Forest. That place you people forget about. It's over there. We established it. We established a lot of things in season 1. If everything was wild, then how did Applejack get to Manhattan? You care to explain that, Vic? Care to point out what the problem is here? Weather can be controlled, yada yada yada. Plants will grow where a climate and the wars will stay a soil. Earth ponies, hello? And furthermore, even if we were to ignore all that, what about the trains? You're telling me the trains are okay with riding through these wild zones? Care to explain that, Vic? Care to explain your own world building that completely fucks with the rest of the story? The shuffling continued, and after a time, the 6 ponies found themselves temporarily grouped by original race. 3 pairs traveling together, and one of those with a dragon, with another Earth pony mare, with enough space between each so to discuss and speak with them without the others overhearing. Casual, considerate, automatic, respect for privacy. So, while you're trying to be realistic, you forget sound carries? They could not hear each other. Those mufflers were so warm. They might have been better off if they had. Well, that's not suspicious. And okay, this fic doesn't have any signs of ownership pronouns. It does not say he says, she says, they says, or anything like that right now. It's got nothing. Just text. I guess the author is expecting us to just know from subtle clues on who's saying what. Well, I'm going to just show you why this type of writing is stupid. That's right, folks. We have seen this before. It's time to play this game again. It's time to play why ownership pronouns are your friends.
I said I was sorry, dear. I've said it several times already, and you can see I'm fine. Oh, I went far enough at school to hear the same stories you did. No point ever proving anything beyond a unicorn taking an abrupt nap. Again, I'm sorry for moving towards the dramatic mouthpiece, but
But that's just you. A sigh. There's a reason you take them out of the dirt, you know, or why you had Spike do it. Why did you drop out after fifth year? Some of your test scores were amazing. Surprised, perhaps a little affronted.
how do you know how my test goes well?
Surprised, perhaps a little affronted.
How do you know what my test goes well?
Without picking up a hint of the above, I wrote to school and the traveling tours on your circuit to ask. A little too late. What? Ladylike irritation.
Does not feel like we're all stupid to you?
Now a little embarrassed. I was curious, Rarity. I know your field strength is pretty average. It's also called stalking, Twilight, which is considered illegal in everywhere.
You know better than below what, Twilight?
But your field dexterity scores are just about off the charts. Sincerely impressed. Sure, I can move 100 items at once, and they're all the same kind of item. They're all moving in roughly the same formation or the same purpose. 100 books reshelving, 100 scrolls growing up. Once you start mixing sizes and types, I get in trouble. That trick I was trying to do with some of life-size animal friends. A dozen or so smaller species with their weights not too far off and looping an infinity symbol. I did it. Combined, you get away with thousands of what the Ursa Minor did. And just to practice till it put me in bed early. A dozen of smaller animals instead of one big one in a water tower. The weight didn't matter, just the colors didn't match. I wasn't exactly a great sync when Trixie showed up again, but she could have called me anyway with that amulet. But you, I've seen you affecting needles, patterns, cloths, ribbons, and buttons. More than 100 things in your field at the same time, different shapes and sizes, and sometimes with multiple movement patterns. I can't do that. Not one unicorn in 1,000 or more can. You could have gone farther than 50 based on that. So, why didn't you? Because she's a seamstress?
After several more steps, there's more domestics just being able to lay out stitch skylines while keeping the stitches coming behind them. Twilight, you know all points know that my strength is average. There are tricks that I simply cannot do and frankly had no use for learning. The one trick I picked up since leaving is one I said Erica would never use again. Honestly, when I was ever going to require some of your more spectacular spells, I was going to fashion. Only so much I needed to learn that field of magic. Since even 5 years was too deep in, I would have been better off at another academy in their clothing design school if only.
Points to cutie mark. Points to what she's learned. Points to how Celestia picked Twilight for the School of Magic.
Well, I study offensive and defensive spells of any sort of the rest of it. I was going as particularly exciting in life, in the fashion sense. Before that, all I had was the love of needed.
Celestia slowed for a moment, or forcibly accelerated back to normal. Softly. You never expected your life to be like this. A sigh.
Rather not, but Twilight, please don't blame yourself for it, or the princess, or anyone else. Maybe we were all connected from the moment that star grain boom on, or even before, but we didn't know. Had I known I had an element coming, I might have pushed for a class or two, certainly, but none of us knew. I hardly mind giving the princess my service. It is my duty, and if I see any sign taking it out on yourself, I'm going to have the blues. Oh yeah,
Um, Fick, maybe it's better they didn't know, so that way they could become friends naturally. I do believe that's the way the elements work. Hastily, I don't blame myself. No reply. Harder. Faster. I don't. Before any answer could arrive. Um, Twilight, you shouldn't. They chose to. The reality is, any of those, any 5 ponies could have shown up. But it was those 5 that you interacted with. That's what makes the first 2 episodes so special. A rarity. As long as we're the element bearers, and that's potentially something for in life, we are going to be away from this spectacularly exciting field of fashion every so often. There's a technique which lets unicorns try to combine their fields and merge strength for a spell. I know it. You don't. We both did. You could have found that gem, and we both would have pulled it for the river.
oh, but of it,
Damn careful, missing.
it's frightfully events, Twilight. As you said, my strength is efforts.
And you can manipulate your field more finely than any pony ever met outside the princess. In response, you can match another unicorn and probably more easily than I can, said the mayor, who lifted up a giant bear. It's not always a question of strength, Verity. It's control. You have control. Just a question of what I have to do now with it. I carefully pre-measure his pause. I want to start teaching you some more advanced magic. Offense, defense, that combination spell. Oh, good! Maybe this person in Twilight could teach Rarity how to teleport. The frown was audible.
Unicorns like me don't usually go that far, no matter what educational path on Twilight. Not unless we're going to research studies or becoming one of the gods, and I'm not strong enough for either. I mean, it might be good for all of us if we was a little more handy in a fight with something other than words or tons of hoof cuffs, but six in some of your spells?
Maybe even a little past that.
Oh, I'm sorry, dear, but again, unicorn like me.
Sincere words of a young Earth Pony mecha pilot. Verity, you're the one and only element of generosity. There is no other unicorn like you. What's got an amused giggle?
I suppose I can't really argue with that, now can I, Noriko? Oh, very well. I suppose private tutoring season or 3 can't particularly hurt. At least not after I get that headache remedy from Sakura again. But, please don't expect too much of me. Not every unicorn reaches those spells. Some of us simply can't handle them. I'm trying to try, but I cannot promise to succeed.
I think you could do more than you believe you can.
Of course, but generally with Tails love patterns. Dear Celestia, Fluttershy is more work than any 3 other ponies put together. Now, when do we begin?
Now,
Oh, you're sure? I'm sure. I know when some ponies avoiding me. But Riley's been avoiding touching me ever since we got the back from Canada. She doesn't want to see me, but she doesn't want to hang around with me. Coming out to get me for the summons. That was the longest talk we had since she got her wings. Whenever I get back to the lab, around the town or anything, or anything, make a new appointment, she does. She has been forcing me off Luigi. She doesn't want to go flying with me. Every time I tried to get her up in the air, she has an excuse. Even today, I kept giving her all these chances to take off, and it never happened. So, why don't you ask her why? How am I supposed to do that? By going up to her and asking. Well, that's easy. What's wrong? I was just thinking that. That's kind of the one thing we all have in common. What's that? None of us are very good at talking to other ponies about the problems.
hey, Fluttershy.
I'm talking to you, but I'm not your pony you have a problem with. So, it still shows I can do it. And you think that's a problem everybody else has, including you, then.
Question. Why has it ever been established in the show that these girls can only talk amongst themselves?
So, what is this I can do it? If anybody has a problem with everybody else, including you, then. I know I'm afraid. A lot of things. I know that a lot of them are. I even know why I'm afraid. Or some of them.
Almost a whisper.
And I'm still afraid. We're all friends. We all talk to each other, but not always about the important things. We put the lesson in the letter, but we're still learning it.
Oh, I get it. You're trying to use the mechanics of the show to try to prove a point.
Look, this is about me and the Twilight now, okay?
A waft of a sigh.
All right, so you want to fly with me?
Trying to talk a fly on him.
I think, maybe, I know why.
In a tone that gently suggested he maybe was the rare event.
Why? Because,
A long pause. Time enough to gather every last bit of strength.
because, she's radical now, and it makes her better to me.
You know, normally I would be pissed off by a line from Rainbow Dash like that. But since this is Mario talking,
I'm fine with it.
surprise.
Twilight doesn't think he's a better for herself is better than any pony. Sometimes it's quite just the opposite. No, and then not thinks of herself as being better. He's the better. She's a better. She's a princess, Luigi. You know how strong they are. Like unicorn magic, they're the strongest there is, and they have the wings. So why shouldn't they be stronger flyers than any pony else too? Maybe hesitant.
Maybe hesitant.
The words pulled away from the layers of Crusader's scraped tar. They can do a rainbow whenever they want to. They don't just because they don't want to make every pony else feel that they're starting to die. Or maybe they can do the quintuple helix. No, I've never mastered more than a jeep, or even a shuttle run. Oh, that's an older pony's here, Mario. And um, guys, you know, one of the things that irked me when it came to Mikan was when he kept on Starfleet about how these guys could do so many great things. Their powers were so vast that no matter what amount of training the ponies could do, they could never match them. That's one problem. Mikan also said he was using the DBZ formula. That he was using the Dragon Ball formula. The Dragon Ball factor. Well, you see, this is what happens when you've only watched Dragon Ball in clips and only like DBZ because of the yeah, that. When you don't actually watch or read the manga of Dragon Ball Z like I have, you tend to miss that one of the themes is training. And that those of you who don't train tend to lose your abilities. Like, for example, Frieza. Frieza believed that he was strong and never trained. It makes sense. Why should you when there's nobody that can match you? So thus he got his white ass handed to him by Goku. Goku always trained. Do you know what a Dragon Ball character would do if you looked down straight in the face and acted like Starfleet does, saying, we can go super fast and we train our bodies to such a level that there's no way you could match us. Goku would be on Beerus' planet in less than 5 seconds, training just to match you. See, it's frequently stated that Rainbow Dash is a shonen protagonist. And like any shonen protagonist, if you tell them that they can't do something, they tend to show that they could do it and beat you. Rainbow Dash is a mare who always pushes her limits. She always streaks to break them. So, when Mikan was saying all that malarkey about they can never reach it, all I could think of was if you told somebody like Dash that, she would be busy training with all of them. Oh, not the hard stuff already, but little increments. She would be working harder and harder. She would set a limit for herself every single day to break it. Because that's who she is. She trains. So if she found out that Twilight was somehow faster than her, it would be about a month before Twilight would lose that crown. Because Rainbow Dash would be faster. And she'd be going, ha! Faster than you! Neener. This just feels like this is the author going, see, L-Corps are so OP. There's no point to the other main six, and the other main six must feel really bad about it because they don't have the abilities to. And I'm going to stop you right there because I'm a fan of Justice League, and Flash is faster than Superman. Wonder Woman has magic that can help her take out Superman. All the Justice League have abilities and skills that make them equal parts of the team. I get pissed off whenever somebody tries to ask what Batman's role is on the team. Strategist, figuring out the enemy's weak point, figuring out the clues to take out the enemy, smart things. That seems to be a problem that some people have. They don't want to think about smarts or brains or common sense. They just think, "Oh!" And this is also why I love the death battle of Godzilla vs. Hulk. Because they remembered the Bruce Banner part. The brains. Oh, no. They just want to leave out the brains and just go with power. And this is where this part fails. Because I'm always told Twilight can't match Rainbow Dash's speed. So a pony like Rainbow Dash would not just go, Twilight's probably faster than me. She could probably do these tricks better than me. And before anybody chimes in with, we listen. No. A pony with Rainbow Dash's personality would realistically not get this depressed. A pony with Rainbow Dash's personality like this would realistically want to break the limits. A pony like Rainbow Dash, with her personality traits, would realistically want to outshine the opponent. Realistically, a character wouldn't fall for this. See, I can do it too. I can use realism. But I go for realistic on how a character or a person performs. Yeah, right. It's an old pony stamp because they did it 100 years ago in front of a really old pony and she told somebody about it. Twilight could probably do everything now. She doesn't want to go up there with me because she's afraid I'll see it. And Fred gave her to silence. Let little earflakes and tail switches finish the sentence. I just wanted to break feathers in. Ryan's the greatest thing in the world, Luigi. I can never imagine anything better for any story. I was just so happy that another of my friends really got to do it. No spell tricks or worrying about magic or fabric if you went up too high. Just the wings, for real the ones. And she wants us to hang out anymore. She doesn't come see me. This is completely stupid, you should know. I mean, why wouldn't Twilight see her? Or realistically, like Twilight would study these things and would actually just ask a Rainbow Dash. This is so totally stupid. She has so much to do in her life right now. The press, all these ponies coming to see her for advice or just trying to meet her. Why doesn't she just speak with us? Do things with us. Do things with me. She's under a lot of stress. I can see how stress she's under, Rainbow. Mario. Pony makes the stress, branding makes the stress to die. Silence. You can talk to her. Even more quietly. I just don't know if I want to hear her say it, or the other thing. Winston explained the elusive Mamie. And what's that? That, a slow breath. What's the terrific about? Brain shutting down. Oh, I'm all afraid of this. Sadly, Applejack, you're the only one I can identify in all this conversation. Fine. You know how close you came back there? Do you have any idea what your little blade? I don't understand. Daughters, you don't understand. This is new. I know it's new. I know how it feel new when it was for the second mile head stop spinning. Here goes just the same her. What were you thinking? You thinking at all? I didn't. You little wolf, likely. Because I was right there. I heard every word. I could feel it. What? You know how weak it is, Applejack? I can hardly feel anything. I didn't feel it. I saw it. I saw how new it was. I tried to get away from it as soon as I saw your face. You know I did. A long pause. And then, with all the anger gone, sir. I forgot to get my... I'm used to it. Fairness understood her. I'm really, really used to it. So you're right, Applejack. I wasn't thinking about what you felt, because I can't. So I didn't think about all I could do or should say in front of the others. For a Twilight rarity. Guess what? I still want to see it to Twilight. Tyler controlled danger within a thin ear of civilization. I won't run by Bommel again. It's a mission. Yeah, for Discord. Which doesn't mean something isn't really happening. We all talked about that back there. Twilight's our friend. You know how she is. She's some kind of leader most of the time. So if this is connected to whatever the mission is, she has to know. No, she doesn't. She doesn't have to know anything. Slowly, now there was a second undercurrent danger, just a trickle of water below a pebble. She's our friend. She's a unicorn. She's an alicorn. And she's still our friend. Wait, man, why do I care if she was a unicorn? Oh, guys, why? Yeah, you want to hear the stories again, Planky? Stories about how Earth police is not unicorns and even so the Pegasus were their friends. Police who decided to tell their friends 80. I grew up on those stories. I know you did too. Remember how they, they, let's see the script here. The one chance she had to act like an Earth pony at the first ramp up, she cheated because it sounded mean. Even worse, she writes things down. She sends letters. You know, the best thing about having an oral history, being able to decide who you don't tell to. So maybe there's this tiny thing you could tell her, so you know, maybe surprised or amazed and just thrilled to learn, and guess what happens then? She writes it down. Maybe she never tells the pony or shows the any point in the book, just maybe. But maybe she has to steal the book, grab the letter, when all's out there. Well, wait, are they saying we can't, Earth ponies can't write? She's an alicorn. You think the princesses don't know? Of course they don't know. No way they couldn't know. Doesn't mean Twilight knows. And I'm betting they never told her. We weren't hardly there long enough, and how would have been full of questions for us. You know what's it like? No, she doesn't know, and I'm not gonna be the one who breaks the code and does it. You won't tell her. Liam, ain't gonna blame me. What the hell? See, Trickle have been joined by a few raindrops. Maybe I will. I think he needs to know. Princesses can't write us now. You know that. How are you supposed to tell her? I'm sort of got ways. Not this time, they don't. There was a dam behind a pebble, and it was particularly socket. No interference. We both heard that. They can't tell her. It's you or me, and this is important. What I'm not telling her is what makes things go wrong. What I'm not telling her is what's wrong. I love that. Ain't like that. And you know, doesn't matter. And if that's it, we'll solve it. You and me. We'll keep quiet. You know how it's done. Okay, what the freaking hell is this? Are they trying to say we Earth bullies are carrying secrets, legend? Uh, Jack, you might want to sit down for this. No, I said now. Are they saying I got some sort of problem with unicorns or Pegasi? That we Earth bullies are somewhat still racist? Just continue with the scene, you'll see. Whether your friend or not. Friend, you know that. Oh, she's more than that. You told her she was family. You told us all we were family. Well, one of your family wasn't there playing Applejack. Was you tell them? This will happen. We're married pure. Or, and before the time to apple planted a tree. No. What's the next paragraph? Lila is my friend. I love her. Ken, you know what, Plaguey? I can answer your question. She's my family, all right. My unicorn family. I'm going to be the airplane who talks about your unicorn family or no. You want to be the next name in the stories? You want to go betray your entire race? I, you never thought we were friends at all? No, 5, because you don't trust my judgment? I find other Earth ponies to search for them and... Oh, oh, hell no. Fuck this! Fuck this! Fuck it the hell and back! No! I'm not doing this shit anymore! I said, Epic, I'm out of this flick! Goodbye! Mikey! I hope you get another replacement for me or some sort of bot, because I am gone! I'm done with this! Yeah, you wanna know something? I'm done with this chapter too! The chapter ends, for all of you want to know, with Fluttershy being pulled out and born thanks to somebody using some sort of magic and brand new spell to pull her out because he was this close to being a stillborn. But I don't care. People, I'm from the South. Born, raised, live here, and I die here. And you want to know something? Yeah, I know about how stupid the Civil War is, and I've got no respect for them. I've got no respect for the Confederacy. I've got no respect for racists, homophobes, or anything like that. But I also am respectful for my state. Because a lot of people I know grew up here. A lot of people who do love everyone. This state is beautiful. As a matter of fact, if I were to meet anybody from here and take them to my state, I would not take them to any of the Civil War reenactments or hell, any of the Civil War at all. I would take them to the mountains, to the lakes, to the shopping malls, to my favorite cities, to the tunnels, and show them the beauty of my state. So, and of course, there's Applejack, who's a Southerner like me, and I love her for it. One of the things I love about MLP is that Applejack is a Texan farm born cowgirl who is loving of so many others. She opens her heart. She's trusting of others. She's open as a hoof. So when I see a fanfic like this one, deciding that in order to be realistic, in order to be dark and grimy, we need Applejack to be a racist, I feel personally insulted. Yeah, sick. Congratulations. Mike, for all of the bad stuff he does with Applejack, never does this. So congratulations. You have personally insulted me. Because guess what? I'm from the South, and I love everyone. If you meet me on the street, I'll be and say hi. I'll be shy, but I'll greet you with a hello. Because I think we're all equal. I think we all deserve love. We all deserve equal rights. I'm not some sort of, oh, we don't care. Oh, stay away from my moonshine. I'm not a moonshine drinking, sister Dan, UFO seeing, raised in a trailer park and afraid of tornadoes, hayseed redneck hillbilly. I drink Dr. Pepper. I don't have a sister. I live in a nice house. And that UFO was Grandizer, so I kind of cheered him on. And the mountains I live in are too fortified for a tornado. So, fuck off. Because you see, the reason why I'll go to a site or a forum and I'll see somebody try to label something I love and I make fun of them for it, I don't like getting labeled. I don't like being associated with so many others, and I like to try to be a better example. So, Vic, fuck you. I hate you. I hate you more than Mike. Because at least he didn't find a way to personally insult me, my family, my friends, and the good people of this state. So you know what? Fuck you, Vic. Fuck you forever. I'm going to enjoy tearing you apart, bit by bit. There won't be an ounce of your ideals left by the time I am done with this story.